And with this next fight, this is going to be a good one. I think it'll be an explosive fight with Ovince Preux taking on Philipe Lins. Ovince Preux, he's back. He's had a lot of UFC fights. We know what he's all about, but he's getting up there, almost 40 years old at this point. Is coming off a win over Shogun Rua, but that was a very lackluster fight. Philipe Lins, 0-2 in the UFC to start his career. Both those fights were at heavyweight. He put in the dedication, decided to make the drop down to 205 pounds, and it paid off. He got the win over Marcin Preux. Looked okay. I didn't think he looked incredible, but he did change his style up for that one. A lot of his fights, he's more of a guy that likes to counterpunch and stay smart, use the jab. He'll throw some heavy calf kicks, nice left hook. Overhand right is pretty good, and he kind of just likes to counterpunch. He had very good hand speed at heavyweight, and he has some power. But in his last fight, he was, I think, struggling with the kicks and the more kind of diverse skill set of Marcin Preux in the striking realm, because he doesn't really mix in a lot of kicks. He's more of just a boxing-only guy besides the calf kicks. And he decided to blitz more, get inside a lot more, make it ugly, control against the cage, hit some takedowns. And I don't think he's going to try to come with that game plan in this fight. I think in this fight he's going to try to work off that jab and throw leg kicks. But I feel like he's going to struggle with that range. He struggled a lot with the teep kick of Marcin Preux, and he struggled a lot with those round kicks as well. And I feel like OSP, even though he is an older guy at this point, once he gets going with those front kicks, those teep kicks, it takes him a little while. He's a slow starter, so Philipe may try to jump on him quick. But I do think that ultimately, if the fight starts to get later, those front kicks, those teep kicks are going to have to force Philipe Lins to be more aggressive. And when Philipe Lins is aggressive and tries to come forward, he's very hittable. His defense is not good at all. And even though, you see a guy like OSP, he's not got a knockout in a while. He's not someone that's really looked incredible in a while. I feel like, I think that he's a guy that ultimately is a beast. Like, he still has that ability to land that left hook counter off the back foot and knock you out with one punch. Or right hook, excuse me. And he has the kicks from the outside. He has the grappling game where I think Philipe Lins isn't going to be able to clinch and hold him against the cage. I think that OSP is going to be the better clinch fighter. I think OSP could hit takedowns potentially and put Lins on his back where he doesn't want to be if they do end up clinching like that. OSP's top game is underrated, and even though OSP is one of these guys that I think is getting up in age, I think if he faces a very aggressive fighter that has good pressure striking, he could be in trouble, especially when their defense is on point. But if he's fighting one of these guys like Philipe Lins, where I think they struggle on the outside because they don't really bring the most outside of pure boxing, and they struggle with getting hit as they try to enter, I think those guys are tailor-made for OSP, especially when the guy can't take OSP down and grind him out either. So I think OSP is going to get the knockout in this one. I think it's going to be a violent knockout, kind of similar to the Alonzo Menafield type knockout. Lins, I think if he wins, it's going to be a leg kick, kind of slow striking fight where he edges it. But I think Lins is too hittable. I think he's going to get touched here by OSP, who is getting older but still has that power in his hands and is still explosive. I think he's still the better athlete, better grappler. I think he has the better kicking game, and I think he can catch him on the counter. Lins' chin is a little questionable, and all that is leading me towards going with the underdog. So I'm going to go with OSP via knockout in this one. I'll say second round KO TKO.